This neighborhood is still just devastated from that tornado. This home right behind me there, you see the roof is completely ripped off. We're just a few minutes from that curfew, and right here on the left you have all the protesters on this side, and then over here you have all the law enforcement lined up, and they have moved up forward a little bit after people started throwing water bottles that way. It seems that is because the economy appears to be recovering since the pandemic. So if you look at this gas station here right behind me here near Midtown Bowl, it looks like they're actually starting to run out of gas. Heading right down the street here, marching down Chenue Olympic Park, pushing the crowds that way. So right now, no civilians out on the street here. This is on Andrews Drive in the Buckhead area, as you mentioned, and you can see right here some trees knocked down on the ground. Now, Truist Park is open today for fans to come through and honor Hank Aaron. Right behind me, this is where his statue is near the first base gate. So today, Trump's visit comes less than 24 hours after Vice President Mike Pence was in Georgia, also doing the same.
11 Alive, Chenue Her is live near the spas in Midtown, sharing their perspectives with us tonight. Chenue.
Yeah, Aisha, right now in Atlanta, it is still a busy scene here where those shootings happened last night all day, kind of like what Brittany was talking about in Cherokee County. People have been stopping by, leaving flowers, and this memorial over here is starting to grow tonight. Now, since last night, I've been in touch with several Asian American people in Metro Atlanta, from business owners to political leaders to just everyday residents. They tell me these killings are not only terrifying to them, but also angers them.
Why is this happening? Why are we being targeted?
It's a question on the minds of Asian Americans in Atlanta after a gunman killed 8 people Tuesday night at 3 different spas. Law enforcement say 6 of those killed were Asian women. Ching Xia's family's Chinese restaurant has been in Metro Atlanta for 30 years, and as an Asian business owner, she's still processing everything.
I feel angry and also scared at the same time. Myself, and my mom and my sister were here, managing the restaurant, and we're Asian minority. It could happen to anyone.
Her anger, her fear is shared with others in the AAPI community around the metro. Just 2 weeks ago, Samtita Saharith found an Asian racial slur spray painted on her car after leaving a movie theater in Gwinnett County. No one's been arrested.
Now I'm like I have to be more cautious now, because this is it's escalating to a bigger problem now. Now it's really happening here.
Community organizers and political leaders hear that fear and worry, and right now are coming together to find the best ways they can support the victims, their families, and those living in fear.
Feels like in all fronts we're afraid. We're afraid for our lives, for our businesses, for our community. And so we were on a community call today and just trying to figure out how can we help the victims. The
Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta organization released a statement condemning the shootings and voicing support for the victims. When our most vulnerable community members are targeted, we all need to band together. Shia says that unity is what's needed right now.
I've been here for more than 30 years. I basically grew up here. This is my home, and this shouldn't happen to anybody.
Now, many different Asian organizations in Metro Atlanta tell me they're organizing and planning, and they'll mobilize in the coming days. Coming up at 6 o'clock here from State Rep Marvin Lin.
We knew something was coming, but we weren't sure how hard it was we didn't know.
As quickly as the tornado blew through Noonan overnight Thursday, it was gone. But coming back to their house,
it was so destructive. And life can change so fast.
Elizabeth Farbo and her family are reminded how their lives changed forever after climbing out of a bathtub where they held each other tightly as the storm hit their home.
And I got my kids and I grabbed all these blankets and pillows and I put them in the bathtub and I laid on top of them with my body. And babies were screaming, and we were screaming to stay down and that we love them and to just please stay down. And they were really good. They listened. They were really good.
It was terrifying, but Elizabeth and her husband say they chose the right spot in the house to shelter.
The room that we were in, we were just barely missed by very large trees on this side and a very large tree out our bedroom window.
Their family home of only a year is now deemed a total loss. Most of their belongings are destroyed.
I really climbed over a tree in her room to pull them out of the one drawer I could open.
and what they have left can fit into 2 small storage units. But Elizabeth says it's God's grace they made it out with the only thing that matters, each other.
Our kids were so confused and scared. I'm trying to reassure them. We lived. So for that, we're grateful.
Months later, Wanda Cooper is still waiting for answers.
I just think about how they could allow these 2 men to actually kill my son and not be arrested.
It's been since February when her son Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed in Brunswick, Georgia, while jogging through a neighborhood. According to a police report, Gregory McMichael saw Arbery running and thought he was burglarizing a home.
You said someone's breaking into it right now?
No, it's all open. It's under construction. And he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's running down the street.
McMichael, who worked for the Brunswick Police Department before working as an investigator in the Brunswick District Attorney's Office, says he and his son Travis McMichael grabbed guns and drove after Arbery. When they caught up with him, Travis got out of the car and got into an altercation with Arbery, shot the gun twice, and police found Arbery dead.
As a mother, I never worried about him jogging or just running, because as long as he stayed within the streets, I mean, no one should bother him.
The investigation prompting an outcry by the local NAACP and other groups. Arbery was black and the men who pursued him are white. Lee Merritt, Wanda Cooper's attorney, says McMichael and his son are using a citizen's arrest statute to justify the shooting.
We have no reason to believe that there's that either actor here, Travis or Gregory, observed a crime.
The Glynn County Police Department has called in the GBI to investigate the video released by Merritt appearing to show Arbery's death.
11 Alive's Chenue spoke to the family and police in a story you only see on 11 Alive.
The family tells me this happened on Saturday night in the Magnolia Place neighborhood in Lawrenceville. They say as soon as they realized those were gunshots, they called the Gwinnett County Police.
There's been a shooting at my house. I believe there's a shooting.
I heard like someone dropped a big glass bowl on the floor, like clang, and then it was just like bah, bah.
As soon as Nikki and Johnny Hang heard that noise, they say they ran to their daughter's room to check on them. That's when they say they realized someone was shooting at their house.
So she just told everybody, like, get down, so we got down.
As you see, messes everywhere.
Johnny and Nikki say bullets hit their roof, multiple windows, and even went through walls in the house. They're thankful no one was hurt, since bullets also went into their kids' rooms.
If it went one way, it might have hit the other person. If it went the other way, it might have hit the other person. And that would have been devastating. But God was protecting us.
We don't know the motive behind this, so they were scared of, like, what if someone's out there, you know, waiting for us.
Gwinnett County Police say they're still investigating. The police report says a neighbor saw a car pull up to the Hangs' house, turn off the lights, and then heard what he initially thought was fireworks. The neighbor says he came outside and saw the car leave. The Hangs say they're afraid their family was targeted because they're Asian. They say they're the only Asian American family in the cul-de-sac and one of the few Asian families in the neighborhood.
We talked to a few neighbors, and they were saying that they've been living here for like over 20 years, and nothing like this had ever happened. And all of a sudden, we moved here within 2 months, and our house got shot up. We're like, that's the first thing that came to mind. It has to be racially motivated.
Nikki and Johnny say they hope no other families experience anything like this.
Nobody needs to live like this, no matter what color or race you are, you know, or fear of somebody trying to kill you.
I asked Gwinnett County Police if they believe this is a racially motivated crime. Police won't say whether it is or not, but they did tell me the case has been assigned to an investigator.